Back deep to receive for the Mustangs on the near side is Logan Sorensen. We'll see a lot of him tonight, both running and receiving. And on the far side, along with him, is Davis Barthen. Sorensen, a senior. Barthen is a junior. Dan Azuli has the football in hand, is placing it on the tee, and we are set to get underway. Always one of my favorite games of the year. The Hudson Raiders, Menomonie Mustangs from Hudson. And we are underway with a very short kick, hustling up. This is Sorensen from the 16, angles out to the right and is clobbered just over the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 Mustangs from their 30.
A little bit new look for our broadcast tonight. We had a very tough tough broadcast night in Superior last week, and we had some things that didn't go well. Glad to be back, and we're trying out some new things. Hopefully make some comments on the scoreboard screen. We have an embedded clock cam now and some other things. We're going to have a down and distance graphic that will be updated as we go, so hopefully you'll enjoy that and enjoy the game.
Sorensen goes in motion. They put it in the air on first down. It's Sorensen out of the backfield, and Sorensen fights his way past the first down marker and then is pushed out of bounds at the 42, a gain of 11 and a Menomonie first down.
Well, this Menomonie team starts out firing. Very good opening play. Mustangs were rolled all over Eau Claire North last week.
The more traditional power I formation, and now we get movement before the snap. Offsides on Hudson.
On the defense, 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
And Joe, that's something that Hudson really, really needs to improve on. That game last week against Superior, how many, I think it was
16 on us.
16 penalties. I mean, you just simply can't do that and expect to beat a good team.
And Hudson jumps again, so
wow.
A freebie first down for Menomonie.
Well, should I repeat what I just got done saying? Well, I don't know if they're going with a hard snap, obviously varying the cadence or doing something, because back-to-back plays, they drew the Raiders off sides.
Little pitch and cutting up the middle, and inside that ball came loose, and the Raiders have it. Cody Sika comes up off the bottom of the pile with it. Cade Schultz the carry for Menomonie, and he turns it over. The Raiders start 1st and 10 from their 43.
Well, overcoming back-to-back penalties as Menomonie on their opening drive had driven into Hudson territory. But the saying always stands. Penalties, turnovers, special teams plays will determine it when two evenly matched teams go at it.
Hudson to throw on first down. It's complete to Cole Danielson, and he takes a ride up to the 48-yard line. I guess they'll spot it back at the 47. A gain of 4 on the play.
Tackled by Jeff Omia.
2nd and 6, straight keep. Helterbrand trying to pick his way up the middle, and he is taken down after a very short gain, maybe a yard on the play. Give him 1, sets up 3rd and 5 for the Raiders. Raiders winning last week despite 16 penalties and a -2 in the turnover battle. On their first 3rd down, they swing it out. Ben Carl's on the reception, and he's unable to avoid the tackle. Thomas Poplowski takes Carls down. A yard gain brings up 4th and 4 and brings on the punt unit for Hudson.
Well, they wanted to take advantage of an early Menomonie turnover and was not to be. They're going to have to punt it away. But credit the Menomonie defense for rising to the occasion and forcing the punt.
Sage Lewis, a short line drive kick, gets a very nice Hudson roll. And will stop dead at the 23 of Menomonie. 29-yard punt, no return. And as you can see, 10-13 left to play in a scoreless opening quarter.
Beautiful night here at Raider Stadium. Parents' night, honoring the parents of the Hudson players. And looking out the window here, got a very nice crowd on hand, clad in their colors. Maroon off to our right where the Menomonie section is. Blue and white off to my left. We probably got all of 2,500 people here tonight, maybe closer to 3.
Ebert out of the shotgun, empty backfield. And we got a flag that flies kind of right at the snap.
Joe, can we sit through another game like we did last week where we had almost 30 penalties?
I hope not.
I hope not. Boy,
Dead ball. Outside. On the defense. 5-yard penalty.
So another 5-yard mark-off against Hudson. That is the third already in less than 2 minutes of game action.
And those are the things you concentrate on, you work on in practice. It's all about discipline. You want to be aggressive. You want to get that jump, but, you know, you also have to play common sense. And 3 penalties early here, that's tough. Menomonie's on a shift.
Little pitch. This is Schultz. He's hit immediately and taken down at the 29-yard line. Torrin Phillips on the tackle for Hudson. A gain of 1. 2nd and 4 coming.
Torrin Phillips, a 6'3", 190-pound junior outside linebacker, is a nice compliment to Max Reynolds and Cody Sika there.
Straight drop. Ebert steps up away from the pressure, just pulls it down, tries to run. He's caught from behind and taken down for no gain. Again, Torrin Phillips with the tackle. Cody Sika in the vicinity as well. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 4 Menomonie.
Going to adjust our down and distance. Still learning some new little bells and whistles here. It's like Christmas. The new toy. You got to play with it a while and see what it does. We got some emails coming in. We'll get to those at our earliest convenience. Again, click on the Contact the Booth link below the video screen on hudsonbroadcast.com, and love to hear from you.
Ebert straight drop. Throws in. It is dropped. Coming across the middle was Barthen and had it in his hands momentarily, just couldn't hang on to it, and the incompletion brings up 4th and 4.
Joe, he might have been hearing steps at that point, because if he was able to bring the ball in, he was going to get clocked. And that's a very tough thing to do, whether you're a receiver, a tight end, a back out of the backfield, is to be able to have the concentration, the discipline to bring that pass in knowing you're going to get clocked.
Tyler Warner on to a punt for Menomonie. Averaging about 35 yards a kick through the opening half. This is a short, wobbly kick. It'll hit at the Hudson 46 and take a Hudson bounce before it's touched down by Will Oakler just shy of the midfield stripe. So good starting field position for the Raiders. 8:37 to play, no score, opening quarter.
Want to say hello to Claudia. She is watching from Austria tonight. That is a ways from home. Overseas.
Maybe not for her.
Maybe, yeah. Mike Kell, for us. Mike Kell tuning in, watching our grandson Charlie Pierce from Naples, Florida. Please, we're not missing out on the game. Mike and Pat Kell, thank you for emailing in. Hopefully everything's well down there in Florida.
Hilterbrand to throw. Pressure comes up the middle, and down he goes back at the 45. Jake Boyette, the sack for Menomonie.
Got another international listener, Larry Seisman. Seisman, I don't know. Said, "Go Raiders, beat those Mustangs." Listening from Uganda tonight.
Wow. Wow. Hilterbrand thinking about running and is able to sneak out up the middle and gain about 2. It'll be 3rd and 12 here for Hudson.
And what a game running the ball Kaiser Helterbrand had last week against Superior. I mean, he was their offense, really. I mean, he really was. It was him, and he was the whole show.
Rolling, throwing, it's caught. This is Danielson, turns upfield, has the first down, and Danielson to the Menomonie 36-yard line, a gain of 16, and a Raiders first down.
Cole Danielson had a pretty quiet game last week against Superior, and I think one of the keys tonight, if they can get Danielson 15 touches, I think we walk out of here with a win.
Hunter Lutkins checks in. He's the slot receiver near side. And again to pass, Helterbrand, quick slant. Carls has it, weaves his way for another Hudson first down to the Mustang 25. That's a gain of 11.
Well, Ben Carls, one of the heads of what I like to call the three-headed monster. Ben Carls, McDivitt, and Pierce, the primary targets for senior quarterback Kaiser Helterbrand, who's having a tremendous senior campaign, and the Raiders got something brewing here.
And again, kind of spreading things out again. This time they just throw it quickly out to Danielson, but good defense. Keeps them bottled up with nowhere to go. Loss of a yard on the play. 2nd and 11 coming.
Well, as always, the Menomonie defense very stout. One of the trademarks of their successful program.
Lutkins out, McDevitt checks in. He's the receiver on the near side of the formation. Carl's the slot inside of him. Danielson in motion, he'll reset. David Miller is the setback behind Helterbrand. Over the middle and reaching in and knocking that one away was Logan Sorensen. Beautiful defense on a pass intended for Carls. First incompletion of the night for Helterbrand, who connected on his first 5.
Big down coming up here. They're probably in 4-down territory.
3rd and 11, ball at the Menomonie 26. Again, Danielson in motion. Helterbrand again to throw. Steps up, gets caught from behind. He goes forward for about a yard. It'll be 4th and 10.
Well, do you dial one up here? Without hesitation, they're going to go for it. In the NFL, this would be a no-brainer. You bring the field goal kicker on, but high school, it's different, kind of a different philosophy, different scenario.
Mike Munich checks out as McDevitt comes back in on 4th and 10. Stepping up, Helterbrand running out of time, buying some time, now rolls free, steps up and throws it toward the end zone. Ben Carls is inside the 5 and falls at the 2 with a Hudson first down, 1st and goal on a 23-yard gain.
And that's what senior Kaiser Helterbrand brings to the table, the ability to scramble, the ability to throw on the run, very good arm strength. The receivers, doing some moves to get open. There was some mistakes there in the Menomonie secondary, wide open, and now Hudson's knocking on the door.
And the flags fly, an illegal procedure, the call on Hudson, so it'll be 1st and goal from the 7.
False start on the offense. It's 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Boy, we have been bitten but good by the penalty bug here these last 5 quarters.
And all of them have been pre-snap penalties.
They have tonight, yeah.
It's a team that is anxious to be playing. Carl's in motion. They fake the handoff, rolling Helterbrand. Now turns upfield and dives toward the pylon, and he'll be marked out at the 1. Gain of 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 1.
Well, Helterbrand is probably he has a chance to end the season with 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
And how fantastic would that be if you passed for 1,500 yards and ran for 1,000? That's going to get you some consideration from an all-state standpoint.
Danielson in motion. They'll pitch it to him. Danielson tried to cut back, and he is taken down shy of the goal line. Jed Ogia from the backside was there, and I believe stepping up defensively was Davis Barthen to undercut Danielson.
Yeah, nice shift that time. Nice open field tackling by Menomonie. And Danielson usually on those open field looks shakes and bakes and lowers his shoulder and can usually get in. Good stop that time by Menomonie.
3rd and goal from the 2. Danielson in motion. Helterbrand rolling, running out of time. Avoids a sack. Pulls up. Flags come in as the pass is incomplete in the end zone.
That's going to be a hold.
Thomas Poplawski.
Or block in the back.
Stiff-armed away there. And, John, it was interesting back on the 2nd and goal. Raiders were at the line and then pulled back. It looked like it was going to be a quick count quarterback sneak, and instead they pulled back and kind of reset things, and it hasn't been pretty since.
No. Well, why they sort it out here.
It would be 4th and goal from the 2 if the play stands, depending on what this penalty is.
I think they're going to get Hudson for a block in the back.
Well, they are talking to Menomonie, so holding is an indication on the field.
It could be a hole, but maybe it was, maybe it was both. I don't know.
We got a block in the back on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay 3rd down.
Yeah, that was the correct call. I saw it as Helterbrand scrambled to the right to kind of free himself up. A pursuing Menomonie defender was shoved in the back.
Well, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It was the spot of the foul was 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, so that turns out to be about a 21-yard penalty. 3rd and goal, ball on the 23. Wow, Menomonie fans right below us.
Yep.
Making the press box jiggle a little bit.
I see that.
Helterbrand to throw. It's Carls. He has it. He's inside the 10, spun out of bounds at the 8. 4th and goal from there.
Well, now is a little more of an interesting call, and I like this call. It's a little more conservative, playing a little closer to the vest, but they are going to bring on the field goal team inside the 10-yard line. Nothing's a guarantee, particularly in high school, but a much more makeable kick than what they would have had when they went for it on 4th and long earlier in the drive.
And especially from a hash mark, it's an angled kick here. Dan Zulli will attempt it. His kick is up. The end-over-end kick is good. Hudson strikes first with 3:58 left to play in the opening quarter. It's the Raiders 3, the Mustangs nothing. We'll be right back with more Raider football right after this. Welcome back to Hudson, where the Raiders strike first, leading Menomonie 3-0. And Zulli to kick it away. End over end kick. This is going to be Sorensen from the 8. Out the far side, across the 20, up the sideline, cuts back at the 30. Darts out to the 35 and then stretches ahead to the 37-yard line. Nice return from Logan Sorensen. As the Mustangs 1st and 10 from their 36. 28-yard return.
Well, the Mustangs dodged a bullet there. Hudson drove deep into their Mustang territory, and the defense helped by that big block in the back penalty, but Hudson did come away with some points. Unfortunately, they had to settle for 3 instead of 7, but they do have the early lead on the Mustangs.
I formation behind Ebert. Second man through is Schultz. He got hit almost immediately. He falls ahead for about a yard on the play.
Cody Seeker on the tackle for the Raiders. Gain of about 1. That'll bring up 2nd and 9 for the Mustangs.
Not a lot of running room here in the opening going for Menomonie.
Well, credit this Hudson defense. Last week against Superior, and a pretty good Superior team on the road. The defense played very well. The defense really played better than the offense. And Superior had a drive early in the first half, but in the second half, Superior really had nothing going offensively.
2nd and 9 again, the I formation behind Ebert. Coming to motion is Sorensen. They fake the handoff, Ebert to throw, and it was behind the intended receiver, but they say he makes the sliding catch. Will Oakler at the 41-42 yard line.
Will Oakler on the reception for the Mustangs.
That's a gain of 5, brings up 3rd and 4. And Jake Ebert, 2 for 2 to start his night, throwing the rock. And we've got a flag as Menomonie had 12 on the field, 12 in the huddle. And trying to sneak off, very unconvincingly at 6'7", 224, Jalen Wright.
Yeah, that's a lot of body to hide. And if you upset Coach Joe Labuda, I would hide too.
So 3rd and 4 becoming 3rd and 9 now for Menomonie.
Legal substitution on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
First penalty of the night on Menomonie. 2.5 minutes left to play in the opening quarter. Already 5 penalties tonight on Hudson.
Yeah, five penalties in the quarter, coming off a game where he had 16 penalties, and I think there was 2 or 3 more that were declined.
Yep.
I'm sure that was worked on in practice, and so far not real good showing here in the first quarter.
Ebert with time deep down the right side, and that is dropped, incomplete. Beautiful pass. Dylan Boker, the intended receiver. Jake Zasembo there defensively. 4th and 9, the punt unit comes on. Jacob Dalton dropping back. He's just inside the Hudson 30, awaiting this kick from Tyler Warner.
We got delay a game.
We got a whistle prior to the snap. Illegal procedure will be the call on Menomonie.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
Well, now they're backed up. A 4th and 4 just became 4th and 14.
Elsewhere in the conference tonight, Superior down to take on Chi High. Rice Lake travels to Carson Park to take on North, and Memorial just down the road here in River Falls to take on the Wildcats as Warner's punt sails out of bounds into the Hudson bench. They will mark it at the 39, maybe that's the 40-yard line. So once again, Raiders in good starting field position, and so far, John, here in the opening quarter, the Raiders have kind of abandoned the run. Have been a lot of pass plays.
Well, yeah, that's the Raiders primarily traditionally have been a run first, pass second, but that's changed. You know, they're going to almost exclusively shotgun and kind of gone away from like the jet sweeps and the counter plays and stuff, and more to an air attack, playing to your strength like we talked about in the pregame.
1st and 10 from the 39. David Miller takes the option pitch. Tried to go upfield, and as he slowed down, the defense is there to meet him, led by Will Oakler, with help coming from Sam Thompson.
Got our first score update of the evening. One of 4 games going on in the Big Rivers Conference. The River Falls Wildcats, they are for real, continuing to roll 21-0 over Eau Claire Memorial.
2nd and 10 Raiders. They fake to Miller. The pitch comes late. Lutkins trying to get to the corner. Turns up at the 40. A flag flies. As her body is scattered all over the ground in the backfield on the far side. Good run from Lutkins. Gained about 7, but he thinks it's coming back, John.
Penalty number 6, and we still got 1:41 to go here in the first quarter. That's tough.
Hold during the run on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Holding is the call. That moves it back to the Hudson 33. 2nd and 16. Hilterbrand wanted to throw quick, pulls it down a second time, gets caught, and down he goes at the 22. A loss on the play with another flag on the field.
We are getting penalties about every other play.
I think you can just keep that graphic
I think I should just keep the penalty on the play graphic up. I take it off, put it back on, take it off.
Got holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty will be declined. 3rd down.
So Menomonie takes the no gain on the play. 3rd and 16 upcoming here for the Raiders. Part of the Menomonie secondary, not a lot of open receivers for Hilterbrand. He's had to hold the ball a lot. So once again, they drop 5 into coverage. Hilterbrand throws it out near side and right through David Miller's hands, incomplete. And the punt unit will come on. Another flag comes in very late from the back judge.
I wonder if it's going to be a late hit on Menomonie.
After that ball went through Miller's hands, there was contact between Miller and a defensive player. I don't know if that's what's being flagged here.
Up goes the penalty graphic again, Joe. Jeez. I thought we got this out of our system last week.
Yeah, it looks like they're just picking that one up. No explanation.
Okay.
I don't know why you had that graphic up there.
I don't know. I'm wearing it out.
There was a Hudson penalty declined.
Boy, well.
High wobbling kick from Lewis. Fair catch is signaled and taken by Sorensen at his 37-yard line. 30-yard punt. Mustangs will take over 1st and 10 from their 37. Under a minute to play here in the opening quarter. It is 3-0 Hudson.
Going back into the Hudson broadcasting email bags. This hello from Heavy D and the boys camping on an island in the middle of Wisconsin, watching for Ben Gilbert from his fake dad. I'm not sure what that's about. Jamie Rose emailing in said, I would like to say to the freshman football team today that you played a great game and only lost by 3. Keep your head up. That one coming in from Jamie Rose.
Pitch, Schultz trying to find some room, darts inside the right tackle area and across the 40 to the 42. Give him 5 on the carry.
Emails continuing to come in. We'll try to get to those as opportunity presents itself. We do have time coming up at halftime, but keep them coming in. We got a lot of people watching tonight, and Hudson fans. We also probably have some Menomonie contingents. Although they travel very well, they brought a lot of fans over here to the Trek West.
Shift left, pitch left. Schultz hit by Jacob Dalton and driven back with some help from Masika, Quinton Bates, among others. A gain of 1 on the play brings up 3rd and 4 for Menomonie. And that brings us to the close of quarter number 1 with your score, Hudson 3, Menomonie nothing. Folks, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with second quarter action after this. As we begin the second quarter, it's 3rd and 4 Mustangs. Quick pass out near side is caught, hit immediately, but that is a Mustang first down just into Hudson territory. Logan Sorensen on the reception. Jake Sasembo there defensively for Hudson.
Didn't get it by much, but they made her. Converting those all-important 3rd downs.
Sorensen came into this game with 7 receptions for the Mustangs, has 2 here tonight. That one good for a first down. Pitch to Schultz. And he's down to the Hudson 46, a gain of 3. Dalton and Bates there, along with Cade McDonald to bring him down. 2nd and 7 coming.
Looks like the clock cam got knocked off there.
They fake the, it's a flea flicker. Deep downfield, and it is overthrown, incomplete. After the handoff, pitched back there to Ebert, and the bomb for Boker is incomplete. 3rd and 7 for Menomonie. First incompletion from Ebert tonight, who is now 3 for 4. Barthen in motion. They fake the handoff to him. Ebert with time deep down the right side, and that ball is caught along the sideline and taken out of bounds. Brock Thornton on the reception is taken down at the Hudson 11-yard line, a 35-yard connection. And check that, Dylan Boker on the receiving end of that one. High formation handoff. Schultz off the left side. He's inside the 10 and taken down at the 5, a gain of 6. 2nd and 4 for a first down, 5 for a touchdown.
Well, now the Mustangs find themselves in a hole 3-0 after dodging a bullet. Hudson drove inside the 5-yard line in the first quarter, had to come away with a 3. A block in the back penalty aided that greatly, and they're looking here to possibly tie it up or even go ahead.
Again, I formation, again, handoff, this time trying to bounce it to the outside. Cutting back with it is Thomas Poplawski. He's inside the 5. He's down close to the 2. 3rd, we'll call it 1 for the Mustangs. Ball at the 2. First carry of the night for Poplawski. Power left. The pitch goes that way. Schultz got undercut. Alonzo Madsen knifed in and undercut him. We'll see where they spot this one. And it is 4th down. That ball sitting outside the 1. 4th and less than a yard. Mustangs do not hesitate. They will go for it here. Again, power left. Ebert under center. Handoff. Schultz. He is hit in the backfield by Cody Sika. Taken down. He is short. And the Raiders take over on downs.
Huge. Cody Sika has been doing it all season long. And he's doing it again.
Raiders will start from their 2. 8:48 to play in quarter number 2.
Well, Menomonie defensively dodged a bullet with the Raiders earlier, and the Raider defense dodged an even bigger one because Menomonie came up with nothing on that one.
Danielson in motion, throwing out of the end zone, deep down the left side, intended for Pearson over his outstretched arm. Trailing in coverage was David Barthen. Well, even backs on the goal line. Hudson is just going to fire away here. 2nd and 10. They keep it spread out. Quick slant. That's Danielson, and Danielson had the ball come out. Boy, I thought he was down when it came out, and that's the signal from the far side. They'll spot it just shy of the 10, so a gain of 8.
3rd and about 3 here.
4th reception tonight for Danielson. Both he and Ben Carls with 4 receptions each, as Helterbrand is 8 for 10 throwing the ball. Danielson in motion. They'll run the option. Pitch. Danielson cuts upfield. He's got a first down and more as he spins his way out to the 20-yard line on a gain of 10.
That's what we needed right there. We need to get Cole Danielson back involved as a key part of this offense. They went to him that time. The block was there. They needed some breathing room with their back to the wall after stopping Menomonie deep in Hudson territory. Great run.
Huge conversion for Hudson, just 2 for 6 on 3rd downs here tonight. They fake the jet sweep, counter play. Miller's got some room, bouncing it now on the near side, avoids a tackle. Miller to the 30, picks up a block to the 40, 45. He'll be knocked out of bounds in Menomonie territory at the 49-yard line. That's a 31-yard scamper for David Miller.
Well, we haven't heard a lot from Miller, but he's been a nice compliment to Danielson. He did have a couple nice runs against Eau Claire North. Beautiful run that time, and they're officially now into Mustang territory.
Danielson in motion. They fake to him. Helterbrand keeps. He gets his way to the 47 for a gain of 2. Taken down there by Will Oakler. You know, I mentioned, John, 73, 74 players on this Mustangs roster, and I'll tell you, a lot of these guys play 2 ways, so not many of the 73 on the field.
You go with play to your strength.
Miller dancing, finds some space, and the ankle tackle by Boker takes him down at the 44. A gain of 3 brings up 3rd and 5 now for Hudson. Danielson in motion. Helterbrand, quick slant. It's caught by Carls. Had to reach behind him. And with Tim Clark on his back, Carls pulls it in at the 32-yard line.
And Hudson quick to the line, and that's what they like to do. When you get that offensive rhythm going, you just play to your strength, play momentum, get up there, get the ball snapped. It keeps the defense on their heels. They got a good drive going here.
Stray keep. Helterbrand falls ahead to the 31. Give him 1 on the carry. As the running room for these teams has been limited, both sides. Just trying to grind things out here tonight.
Well, both of these teams traditionally, not necessarily as much this year, know how to play between the tackle, grind it out 3 yards in a cloud of dust, smash mouth football. A more wide open attack tonight.
Handoff Miller. And Miller wrapped up.
Miller on the carry.
A short gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and long. Third will call it 8.
Tackled by number 10, Dylan Boker, as well as number 14, Thomas Popolowski.
Got some scores coming in. River Falls continuing to roll 27-0 all over Eau Claire Memorial. Rice Lake 22-0 over Eau Claire North.
Hilterbrand over the middle. It's caught on a crossing route, and it is Ben Carls. Carls taken down at the 23. I think he's going to be a little shy of the first down here. Popolowski in the coverage. It'll be 4th and a yard after the 7-yard gain. Quickly to the line come the Raiders, and now a timeout taken by Hudson. The first of the half taken by them comes with 5:20 left to play here in the second quarter.
Well, of course, Wisconsin sports fans, and Joe, you're a Viking fan. I'm a Packer fan. All eyes were on the NFL Packer-Viking game a week ago, and even though it's very early in the season, and well, I guess neither fan base got their way, or neither fan base walked away disappointed with the tie.
I think both fan bases could be in agreement that the way the rules are being called leaves some questions on the table.
It does, and I know they addressed that in the offseason with the Rules Committee, and there was a late hit on Clay Matthews, and some say that cost Green Bay the game. Well, maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but it's all about driving the quarterback into the ground, apparently, and it's a judgment call. What I think they need to do is make that a reviewable play, and right now I don't think it is because it happens so fast, but that's a topic for another day.
4th and a yard, Raiders. Danielson into the backfield. He'll go back, wing back left. Boy, coming out of the timeout, and Hudson's got to burn a second.
Wow. I don't know if there's some miscommunication or they didn't like what Menomonie was throwing at him defensively.
So timeout number 2 for Hudson, and to go back to that game on Sunday, John, 29-29 tie. Teams remain tied for first place. What did you think of Aaron Rodgers?
Coming off an injury, coming off a game against Chicago where he was knocked out and then came back at halftime and played, we went on and on about the second half he had against the Bears. He's the real thing, obviously. I think that knee is going to be an ongoing issue for a while. To me, the bigger issue is Green Bay needs to be more consistently able to run the ball in a situation, for example, when they're trying to ice out the lead after the interception late in the game. They're just not able to get those tough, 3-4 yard runs. But, Rodgers is very good, as is Kirk Cousins. Had a tremendous game.
Hudson would be happy with one of those 3 or 4 yard runs here on 4th and 1. Again, looking to the sideline. 2 receivers almost bunched on the far side. Going to have to hurry along.
Yeah,
you don't want to be 4th and 6. Danielson in motion. Straight drop, wanting to throw quickly. Hilterbrand is in trouble, and down he goes back at the 26, and the Mustangs take over on downs.
Well, coming out of that timeout, I'm not sure what happened there. Menomonie defensively is all over that, and Hilterbrand clearly is not having the running success that he had last week against Superior.
So Mustangs will start 1st and 10 from their 26, 5:14 to play in the opening half. Following a low-scoring game up in Superior last week, we follow it up here. 3-0 late first half.
And this is a team that put up 48 points the first 2 games.
Deep down the left side, he's there, but the pass is overthrown, intended for Sorensen. Rock Rocco Hoopert in coverage for the Raiders.
We do have a score update, Chippewa Falls and Superior. Chippewa Falls and Eau Claire Memorial, we talked more about this at halftime, had a game for the ages last week, but they and Superior are all knotted up 0-0. We got a couple announcements going on in the
pass is caught. Turning upfield is Oakler. He's got a Menomonie first down as he is out to the 38-yard line. That's a gain of 12, and it moves the sticks for the Mustangs.
Well, Menomonie's got plenty of time to work with here. It's only down 3-0.
Of course, they drove to the Hudson 2 on their last possession and came away empty-handed, turning it over on downs.
And you would think based on that they don't have a lot of confidence in the kicking game, as a chip shot field goal at that point would tie the game, but Coach Labuda chose to roll the dice.
Power right, they fake the handoff, rolling, throwing. Ebert has his man, and sprinting down the sideline, knocked out of bounds at the Hudson 29-yard line is Will Oakler.
And the Menomonie Mustangs are driving again. This Hudson defense has shut them out so far. 4:53 to go here in quarter number 2.
33 yards on that play. First and 10 Mustangs from the Raider 29. Ebert wants to throw, but it bobbled the snap, and Sika comes flying in to take Ebert down. A loss of 7 on the play.
And what a season senior linebacker Cody Sika has had for this Hudson Raider team. He had a great junior year last year, put in a lot of time and effort, upped his game, and it's bearing fruit here in his senior campaign. One of the leaders of that defense.
Faked handoff, deep down the left side, and nearly intercepted. Sliding over that time was Jacob Dalton. He was closest to it. Incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 17 for Menomonie.
Yeah, just as Hudson has really kind of stepped out of their comfort zone in terms of their offensive philosophy, Menomonie, as you mentioned, Joe, is doing the same thing. I mean, there's been games we've called Menomonie where they pass, 5 or 6 times all game.
Sorensen in motion. Again, the fake handoff. Ebert throws, and it is caught and taken down by Jacob Dalton at the 9. A 27-yard connection. Dylan Boker on the receiving end.
Well, this defense, once again, as the Mustangs have driven inside the red zone, is going to have to come up big like they did earlier this half. Keeping that goose egg on the scoreboard. Clinging to that slim 3-0 lead.
First and goal, Mustangs. Ball at the Hudson 9. They show power right to the Mustangs. Rolling that way, Ebert pulls up, throws to the back of the end zone, and just throws it out of bounds. In the direction of Jalen Wright, that big 6'7" tight end, but even too tall for him. Second and goal.
You can feel the crispness of the approaching fall here finally, after some very warm days earlier this season. Leaves are going to start changing color. My favorite times of year. See if the Hudson Raiders can stop them here.
Boy, should have been a flag.
Yeah.
Two players were in motion there, but goes uncalled. Now a flag flies in late. Ebert will get to the end zone for a Menomonie touchdown, but we will see what the flag is.
I think that one's coming back. But you're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, it's... But yet the flag came in late. So was that something else, or were they just late flagging that penalty?
Right. we'll get the announcement.
Illegal shift on the offense.
There it is.
That's a 5-yard penalty. Replay the down.
We'll back him up to a second and 9.
Second and goal from the 14. So that wipes out what was a nice run from the senior quarterback, Jake Ebert. Instead, he faces second and goal from the Raider 14-yard line. 3:40 to play in the half. Hudson down to just a 1 timeout remaining. Ebert straight drop, throws it into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Intended for Boker. Jacob Dalton there defensively for Hudson. 3rd and goal from the 14.
Well, this would be huge going into halftime. And if, the question arises, if Hudson stops them here, 3rd and long, do you go for it again? They got stopped last time. Or do you go for the field goal? It depends on the confidence in their field goal kicker and potentially tying this up. But
and a timeout taken by Menomonie.
They're going to talk this one over, 3rd and long.
Second timeout for Menomonie, is that right? I don't recall the first one, but...
Well, I know Hudson burned 2 back-to-back earlier. I'm looking across here, and it's showing the Raiders. Is that right? Raiders with 2 and Menomonie with 1?
Well, perhaps it wasn't Hudson back-to-back. Maybe
Menomonies called one, and then Hudson called after that. But anyway, on the Wisconsin sports scene, big Packer Viking game, upset. That probably one of the biggest upsets in college football last Saturday, as the Wisconsin Badgers fell at home to BYU. They were a big favorite in the game, and BYU came in and squeaked out a 3-point win, and that's really going to throw a dent in Wisconsin's college football playoffs. I mean, a lot of season yet to go. A lot of things can happen, but big upset at Camp Randall. They hadn't lost a non-conference home game in forever. It'd been years.
Third and goal from the 14. Ebert, straight drop with time. Guns it toward the end zone, and it is incomplete, intended for Sorensen.
Brings up 4th down.
It'll be 4th and goal from the 14. Looks like a field goal unit is coming on here for Menomonie.
Well, there's your answer to the question we were just talking about.
Thomas Poplawski is on to attempt what looks to be like a 32-yard field goal. Lefty kicker. Snap is good. Ball is down, and the kick is no good. Wide to the left.
Boy, from our angle, it looked good, but it was not. So Hudson dodges the bullet again.
I'll tell you, after that missed field goal, which seems to be a common theme from last weekend, John, the Wisconsin football fans, Badgers missed a late field goal that could have tied that game. Obviously, they were the benefactor of missed field goals on Sunday, although Mason Crosby missed one as well that would have won the game in regulation for the Packers.
He did, and and the Minnesota kick, and we'll talk more about this halftime, but the Minnesota kicker, that game cost him his job. Yeah, that's tough.
Hilterbrand, a little dump over the middle. David Miller wide open. Miller to the 40. Hangs onto the ball and falls ahead to the 45-yard line.
Boy, David Miller is having a tremendous game. That's his second big play here in this first half. It's a name we haven't called a lot, but he's kind of hung around. He's got some looks, and his second big play tonight.
25 yards, first down, option pitch here, Danielson. Danielson lowers the head and shoulders and spins into Menomonie territory, a gain of 6 to their 49.
Well, Hudson we're showing 2 timeouts on the scoreboard, 3 minutes to go here, trying to build on that 3-0 lead. Boy, if they could punch one in here or even have another field goal attempt in the closing 3 minutes, that'd be huge going into half.
Hunter Lutkins comes out. Sage Lewis replaces him as wingback right, and now he comes in motion to the near side. 2nd and 4. Helterbrand over the middle, and a sliding attempt by Pierce is incomplete. Logan Sorensen there defensively for Menomonie.
Did stop the clock.
3rd and 4 for Hudson. Raiders just 3 for 8 in the 3rd down conversion so far tonight. Danielson in motion. Pass intended for Pierce, incomplete. Jed Ogia there defensively, Ogia. And I thought Johnny might have gotten there just a touch early, but no flag comes in. I hate to jinx it. I don't know that we've had many here in the 2nd quarter.
After a plethora in the 1st.
Raiders will go for it here on 4th and 4 from midfield. Straight drop. Arc to near side. It is caught by Charlie Pierce, and he runs out of bounds with a Hudson first down to the Menomonie 35-yard line.
Huge play, keeps the drive alive, converts a 4th and 4. Charlie Pierce had some good separation from his defender. Helterbrand put a kind of rainbowed it. Nice catch, nice gain, converts the first down, got out of bounds, stopped the clock. 2:35. Hudson's in pretty good shape right now.
And we've got an injured player down on the Hudson sideline.
Another score update, Big River's conference action. As the injured player is looked at on the field. Chippewa Falls and Superior. 46 seconds to go to halftime. All knotted up, nothing there. And both River Falls and Rice Lake rolling in their games.
Charlie Pierce is the injured Hudson player on the play, getting some help, but really kind of walking all on his own. 15-yard connection. 1st and 10 Raiders from the Mustang 34. They run the option. This is Danielson. Danielson drives ahead inside the 30 down to the 29, maybe the 28. Give him 5, maybe give him 6. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Like how Danielson runs. Like to see them get the ball to him in his hands more in the 2nd half.
Handoff, Miller, busted out to the right. He's got a Hudson first down, cuts back at the 20, and is taken down at the 19-yard line. That is a gain of 10.
And David Miller continuing to build on his very impressive first half. 5'10", 170-pound senior. And Hudson now officially is in the red zone.
5 carries, 45 yards tonight for Miller. Throw in 1 reception for 25 yards as well. Option near side. The pitch comes. Hunter Lutkins trying to get to the corner, and as he gets there, he is flipped down by Davis Barthen. Short gain on the play.
Probably equally as important, did not get out of bounds. The clock continuing to run. They lost a lot of time on that play.
Gain of 1. It's 2nd and 9 from the 18. Matt McDevitt checks in. He and Carls split wide to the far side. Helterbrand toward the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown Raiders. It's Ben Carls.
That was a classic. Just meet me at the corner on the right-hand side. And Carls has gotten separation in the end zone multiple times this season, and Helterbrand, he couldn't have threw it better.
That was a beautifully thrown ball by Helterbrand. Carls never broke stride. It is 9-0 Hudson. Dan Zulian to attempt the extra point. As the bleacher creatures rejoice.
They are. Hudson tradition here.
And Zuli's kick is good. We've got 1:07 left in the half. It's now Hudson 10, Menomonie nothing. We'll be back after this. Dan Zulli's kickoff fielded by Logan Sorensen. Sorensen right up the middle of the field with a 23-yard return, has the Mustangs starting at 1st and 10 from their 35-yard line. Scoreboard reads they have one timeout with which to work and just under 1 minute on the clock. Raiders 10, Mustangs nothing. Kaiser Hilterbrand now 13 for 16. He's thrown for 154 yards and that beautiful 18-yard strike to Ben Carls.
Well, yeah, it just right. He put it exactly where it needed to be, right in the right corner of the end zone.
Ebert's pass to the far side is hauled in at the Hudson 49-yard line. Hoopert in coverage. Boker, a 16-yard reception, his third of the night. Ebert again down the far side, and that is incomplete behind the intended receiver, out of bounds. Jed Ogia, the intended receiver. Second and 10, 50 seconds left in the half. Quarterback draw, Ebert. Busted out to the left, and he'll run out of bounds inside the Hudson 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That's a gain of 5 and sets up 3rd and 5.
Well, Menomonie hasn't got a whole lot of time to work with here. They do have the one timeout. I'm surprised that, if they do a play action, try to hit him deep or something, but they're probably content to try to just get this first down and get out of here.
Third and final timeout taken by Menomonie with 43.8 seconds remaining.
Another Wisconsin sports story, probably a lot of people are following if you're a baseball fan, is the Milwaukee Brewers playing Pittsburgh tonight, right in the thick of the chase of the pennant race, right on the heels of the Chicago Cubs sitting in first place in the Central Division, sitting on the number 1 spot for the wild card right now.
Yeah, these final couple of weeks,
it is.
Maybe not so much in the American League. We've kind of known who the 5 playoff teams in the American League have been for quite a while.
Since July. That's pretty much been locked in since July. And credit to Oakland A's, but what a tremendous run they've put on to come back and be a part of that whole race.
A lot of people would love to see the Yankees have to fly out to Oakland to take on the A's in a 1-game wild card matchup. Third and 5, Ebert straight drop with time, steps up, heaves it long. Boker's behind everybody, he's got it and falls down at the Hudson 3-yard line.
Well, the Menomonie Mustangs in a 10-0 hole, knocking on the door.
41-yard connection.
Second goal.
Mustangs spread it out. Ebert to the end zone and through the hands of the intended receiver, incomplete. It'll be 3rd and goal.
The bend but don't break defense. The Hudson Raiders here in this first half still pitching a shutout, 33.6 seconds to go. Menomonie's driven deep in the red zone twice and come away with nothing. Can Hudson hold up again?
Dylan Boker, the target on that one. He's 6'3", and the Raiders will call a timeout, their second of the half.
Still following some scores here. Big Rivers Conference football. The River Falls Wildcats, who haven't had a winning season in probably 10 years, and maybe more, rolling all ranked number 9 in Division II, coming into tonight 5-1, similar to Menomonie, having beaten Menomonie, 41-0 over Eau Claire Memorial.
Ooh.
Continuing to roll. Rice Lake having their way with Eau Claire North, as we thought they probably would. That's who awaits the Hudson Raiders next week up in Puglund Field in Rice Lake, heading north for our second northern trip of the year. Went to Superior last week. Rice Lake ranked in the top 10 in Division III again. They did drop a little bit with the loss to River Falls, but they're still number 5. And they have just had a very solid program up there.
Year in and year out, the defending state champions in D3, the Rice Lake Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
As John mentioned, will be up there next Friday night, 7 o'clock, the kickoff. They played a wild one, and speaking of Rice Lake and River Falls last week, you kind of teased the Chippewa Falls Memorial game. I'll tease the River Falls Rice Lake game, and we'll talk about those a little bit at halftime.
Absolutely.
3rd and goal here, Menomonie. Looking left, throwing to the end zone, wide open. That is caught. Touchdown, Menomonie.
Good drive by the Mustangs with not a whole lot of time in a 10-0 hole, and they got it done.
Dylan Boker on the receiving end of the 3-yard touchdown pass. 8th throwing touchdown for Jake Ebert on the year. Poplawski on to attempt the extra point. And his kick is good. Very impressive drive. Just took 30 seconds for Menomonie to go 65 yards. They cut the lead to 10-7 in favor of Hudson.
And you know, Joe, would we expect anything other than a close, hard-fought, competitive game between these rivals that have a history? Menomonie, the 2-time defending Big Rivers Conference champion. In 2012, Hudson and Menomonie meet in the season finale for the conference championship on the line. Hudson goes and beats Menomonie in Menomonie to claim the championship. They rematch again in 2013, same exact scenario. Both teams come in undefeated. Hudson beats them again, this time at Newton Field. 2014 is the 1 year out of the 8 that Menomonie was down a little bit. Hudson beat them, but Menomonie still ended up with a winning record, still ended up making the playoffs. 2015, we went over to Menomonie and got absolutely crushed. 2016, Menomonie comes back to Hudson, beats Hudson in at Newton Field in an absolute downpour rain. I mean, it was a monsoon. And then last year, losing to Menomonie over in Menomonie, and as Menomonie ran the table and took home a conference championship again.
Short kick. And the ball comes out. Cole Danielson is able to jump on it.
That.
Tyler Stubendick on the return just had it slapped right out of his hand there as he tried to cut back, and the Raiders dodge a bullet on that one.
Dodging a bullet is right, because if you turn the ball over there, right now Menomonie's, even though Hudson's got the lead, Menomonie's got the momentum. March down the field, cut the 10-point deficit to 3, and Hudson's just going to go into that tight formation, take a knee, and go into halftime and talk about it.
Hudson will get the ball to begin the second half. As the clock will run out, your halftime score here in Hudson. Raiders 10, Mustangs 7. John and I will be back, recap the first half, and talk about all things that enter our little minds. Hopefully you can stick around and add to it. We'll be back after this. Off to get us underway here in the second half. 10-7 Hudson as he hits a high end-over-end kick from the 7. Trying to bust out near side as David Miller avoids a tackle, and Miller out across the 25, banged down at the 28. We've got an injured Menomonie player on the far hash marks.
We're going to take a look at the Big Rivers Conference scoreboard, all of these games at halftime. River Falls all over Eau Claire Memorial, 48-0. Rice Lake over Eau Claire North, 28-0. Tough night for the Eau Claire schools. And Superior and Chippewa Falls in a similar defensive game such as this, Superior with the 6-0 lead over Chippewa Falls. That one's about halfway through the third quarter.
Davis Barthen was the injured Mustang on that kickoff return. He got up and kind of trotted off to the sideline, so it doesn't look like anything major there for Davis, who is a junior kick returner, defensive back. Raiders will start the half 1st and 10 from their 29-yard line. Straight drop, Helterbrand deep down the left side. Pierce trying to gain separation. That ball, was it intercepted? No, knocked down, incomplete.
Well, Hudson going to the air, just a straight fly pattern on the left side, right out of the chute. You know, Helterbrand, that arm strength of his is tremendous, but good coverage that time. Pierce really didn't have a whole lot of separation.
Devontae Parker on the defense for Menomonie as he goes out. Davis Barthen back in. 2nd and 10 here for Hudson. Danielson in motion, option, pitch goes to Danielson. Flag comes in from the far side as Danielson is taken down for maybe a gain of 1.
Well, Joe, it's in that area of possibly a hold. We'll see. Or maybe Menomonie grabbed a face mask.
Referee's talking about it. Charlie Pierce is right there kind of in the middle of the conversation, so maybe it is on Menomonie.
Maybe he was held.
No penalty on the play.
Okay. After all that, they're waving it off.
So a gain of 1 brings up 3rd and 9. Hudson just 3 for 9 in the first half on 3rd downs. Did make 2 of 3 4th down attempts, however. This is Danielson out of the backfield. He's got it for a 1st down. And he's in Menomonie territory to the 48-yard line, a gain of 22.
Well, Joe, we talked about one of the keys in the second half here is to get Cole Danielson more touches. I was thinking more runs out of the backfield, but you can also free him up through the air. What they did there, the pass was good into Mustang territory.
Danielson in motion, handoff Miller, follows his blocks, cuts back to the left. He's inside the 45 before he's pushed backwards. Gain of 3 for Miller. It'll be 2nd and 7, and John Hudson got to the line and snapped that one a little more quickly. It had been a lot of looking at the sideline in the first half, really slogging down the offense, I thought.
Well, this Hudson offense, when they get into a groove, it's quick up to the line, almost like a 2-minute drill, and that's when they shine.
Pitch, and boy, nowhere to go for Danielson. Never does go down, but he's tackled in the backfield. Be a loss of 5 on the play. 3rd and 12 coming.
Yeah, that run went nowhere. Defensively, Menomonie had multiple players penetration and shut that one down before it even got going. And probably going to have to go to the air here.
Danielson in motion. Helterbrand guns at Pierce, and he's got a 1st down as he spins his way inside the 35, finally taken down at the 32-yard line, 17 yards. Charlie Pierce, 1st down, Hudson.
You know those kind of crossing patterns, whether it's Pierce or Carls or even McDevitt earlier this year, they seem to get good separation, and Helterbrand's timing on those is outstanding. I mean, it was right where it needed to be when it needed to be there. Big pickup there, 1st down.
Helterbrand in trouble, and down he goes back at the 34-yard line. Jake Boyette, the sack for Menomonie. 3rd of the night for the Mustangs. 2nd for Boyette.
She lost one on that play.
Helterbrand, his pass knocked down, juggled, and incomplete. Oh. Boy, 3 different Mustangs had a shot at that one, and they couldn't come up with it.
Boy, that they've dodged a bullet defensively a couple times. They dodged one there offensively. Kept this drive alive, but now they face a 3rd and long.
Well, they've converted on the 2 third downs already on the drive. 3rd and a long 11 here. Danielson in motion. Throwing behind Danielson, incomplete. It'll be 4th and 11. Ball on the 34. Not a lot to be gained trying to punt here.
Yeah, you know, we've seen them time and again go for it on 4th down. I wonder if you run some kind of, they're expecting you to go to the pass, obviously, with 4th and long, some kind of a double reverse or something, you know, or maybe a halfback option.
Straight drop, Helterbrand stepping up in the pocket, and he is going to be spun down, taken down. He falls ahead to the 30. He gains 4, but Menomonie will take over on downs for the 2nd time tonight.
Good pass coverage that time by the Mustangs. They had his multiple options covered up. Hudson's going to have to punt it. We're going to the MSBN email bag here. Want to say hello to Connor Harrison watching from New York. He says, go get him, Kaiser. That being Kaiser Helterbrand. Also want to say hello to Dan Reynolds. My nephew Max is playing tonight. He says, go Max, go Hudson Raiders. My dad's emailing in. He's listening in up north in Barnes. Hope to have him on sometime this season.
And off Schultz with some room off the right side, and Quentin Bates will drag him down, but not until Schultz picks up 8. That's his longest run of the night. 2nd and 2, Menomonie.
Got to get caught up on our down and distance here. The new toy. I'm only doing 6 things at once here.
Yeah. You need to grow another arm or 2.
I do. How do I do that?
Hand off to the up back. It's a 1st down. Up to the 43-yard line, gain of 4.
Now that's a little more traditional Menomonie football right there.
Will Oakler on the carry that time for Menomonie. Doesn't carry it often for the Mustangs, but moves the chains with this one. First and 10 from the 43. I formation, handoff. Schultz off the left side. He's hit as he approaches the 45. A gain of a 2. Easton Belland in on the tackle.
You know, in the years we've been doing this, there's been some tremendous Menomonie running backs. Weber had a great career here a few years ago.
Ebert to throw, got a man wide open, turning upfield with it. This is Oakler. Oakler avoids a tackle at the 30, and he is down to the Hudson 23-yard line.
Boy.
32 yards on the play.
Well-run play that time by the Mustangs, and defensively Hudson kind of bit on the, it wasn't really a play action or a play fake, but, you know, they kind of gambled on the rush, and they had good pressure, and that left him wide open, and he got some good yards after catch, and Mustangs are knocking on the red zone here.
1st and 10 from the Raider 23-yard line. Oakler 4 catches on the night, nearly 80 yards. This is Schultz. Leaps over the line of scrimmage. Flag comes in from the referee. Schultz picked up about 7. And holding the indication against Menomonie. wipe out the 7-yard gain. They'll march it back 10 yards from the spot of the foul. That'll take it.
Offense, 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Back to the Mustang 32-yard line where it will now be 1st and 18.
First and 20 for the Mustang. Ball is on the 32.
And you feel that little bit of chill in the air, Joe.
Definitely do. Handoff on a sweep. Logan Sorensen only able to gain about 2, taken down at the Hudson 30. Second, we'll call it 17.
Yeah, that penalty was huge in terms of really slowing this drive down. And Menomonie coming off that big pass play, driving close to the red zone, still down by 3. And this quarter's flying by here. We're almost halfway through.
Ebert to throw, looking left, throws wide open, juggled and dropped at the 25-yard line by Will Oakler.
Well, Will Oakler is going to be reliving that all weekend long. 5'11" sophomore from Menomonie. Menomonie, Joe, like you said, they're a pretty young team, at least in comparison to the teams they've had the last couple of years, back-to-back conference championships. And, in the preseason, it was talked about, how are they going to be, and there was kind of downplaying expectations and saying, well, we're really young, we're going to have some struggles. And here we are, week 6, 5-1, typical year. Battling for the conference title. Just another year of Menomonie football.
And a flag. Their whistles blow things dead prior to the snap.
Menomonie.
Menomonie's calling a timeout here.
Timeout for the Mustangs. They'll talk about 3rd and 17.
Well, coming up next week, like we said, we got a trip up to Rice Lake to face the Warriors. Rice Lake all over Eau Claire North tonight, as is River Falls over Memorial. And Chippewa and Superior locked into defensive struggle. We're going to make a trip to Chippewa Falls in week number 9 and cap the season out at Duray Field against the Cardinals. And the Cardinals are kind of a bubble team is more of a basketball term, but they're sort of a bubble team, trying to get to that 4 conference wins to qualify for the playoffs here in Wisconsin. Different than Minnesota, where everybody goes. You got to win. It's a 7-game conference schedule. You got to win 4 out of the 7. And so theoretically, some people say, well, you have to have a winning record to get into the playoffs, and in the vast majority of the time that is true. However, you could theoretically go 4-3 in the conference and be 0-2 non-conference and go in as a 4-5 team, and that has happened. But the conference record is really the determining factor, and I think Chippewa Falls is going to be right on that bubble there with that 4 wins.
3rd and 17 coming out of the timeout. Ebert straight drop looking left with time. Throws it toward the end zone and knocked away. Getting there. Perfect timing that time from Rocco Hoopert.
Boy, Rocco Hoopert is a name we have been calling more and more lately. And the Mustangs going for broke on that one. Kind of just a fly pattern off to the left side. And Hoopert had good coverage.
Logan Sorensen, the intended receiver, and Hoopert got there the same time the ball did, got the arm in there to knock it away. And on 4th and 17, the Mustangs will go for it again, kind of in that no man's land right around the 30. Again with time, Ebert to the right. And that one is out of bounds, incomplete.
He caught it, but he was out of bounds.
Beautiful catch, nice throw,
it was.
Except it was just wide. And so the Raiders take over on downs, 1st and 10 from their 36-33 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Raiders, as you can see, on the top ribbon of your screen, leading Menomonie 10-7. I think that's really sharp looking, John. I like it.
Well, we're trying some different things, and some things work and some things don't. We're always trying to give our fans the best visual image we can, and we kind of tweak a few things, and we learn and adjust as we go. And yeah, it's incredible what the internet allows us to do, whether you're tuning in locally here or abroad on TV or on the webcast. I'm glad to spend your Friday night with us.
David Miller. And Miller stood up out at the 37, 38-yard line. Nice run.
You know, David Miller really had a tremendous first half. It's 2 big plays and nice run there.
On 2nd and 2, Helterbrand keeps. He's got a Hudson first down as he dives ahead to the 44-yard line. Gain of 6 for Helterbrand. Fresh set of downs for the Raiders.
And when you have a quarterback who's 6'1", 210, you can do that, and it works.
Another handoff. Miller trying to pick his way through the middle this time. Knocked backwards as he approached the 47-yard line. We'll spot it back at the 46. A gain of 1 that time for Miller. Boyette on the tackle for Menomonie.
The clock continuing to roll here. You see the clock at the top of your screen. 5:30 to go. Here in quarter number 3. Anyone's ball game.
Deep down the left
wide
side.
open.
Carl's wide open at the 30, 25, 20. The race is on. He cuts back at the 10.
Oh.
He is in for a Hudson touchdown. 54 yards to Ben Carls.
Well, we talked about the offense kind of getting back into a rhythm, and while they haven't, the quick strike big play was still there. He was wide open. Menomonie didn't have a defender within 5 yards of him, and Helterbrand saw him put the ball where it needed to be, and we are an extra point away from opening back up a 10-point lead. Very impressive.
I did not see what happened in the second
I didn't either.
but somebody missed something. And the Raiders capitalize as Zuli's kick is up and good. 5:13 to play in the third. It is now Hudson 17, Menomonie 7. We'll be back with more Raiders football right after these messages. Back in Hudson, where the Raiders have restored a 10-point advantage, leading Menomonie 17-7. Ben Carls has touchdown receptions tonight of 18 yards and 54 yards, and Kaiser Helterbrand is putting on a clinic throwing the ball tonight. He's up over 230 yards passing tonight.
Well, you see his arm strength, his ability to throw on the run, his ability to throw across his body accurately, consistently can throw it 35, 40, 50 yards. And he was wide open and touchdown Raiders.
Little trickery as they hand it off to Sorensen. And Sorensen is tripped up beautifully by Jacob Dalton back at the 16-yard line.
Jacob Dalton on the tackle for the Raiders.
And Jacob Dalton, one of the senior captains, also plays on special teams. Ron Dalton, president of the Benchwarmers, and gotten to know him, and one of the many parents on the Hudson Benchwarmers doing a lot of things behind the scenes to make this program the best it could be. We want to thank the Hudson Benchwarmers for their support of these broadcasts, along with the Hudson Boosters, a host of others. They're the reason we can bring these games to you wherever you're tuning in tonight.
Mustangs 1st and 10 from their 17. Ebert fakes the handoff, rolling right, cuts it back, and is taken down up to about the 23, maybe the 24-yard line. Lonzo Madsen helped finish them off after Jonah Becken got the first hit in on him.
And boy, did Madsen have a game against Superior last week defensively. He was just all over the place.
3 sacks, 3.5 sacks last week for Alonzo Madsen. Is not the biggest guy to be playing nose tackle, but he's a load to try to move off of there at 5'9", 200. Handoff, Schultz, right side, cuts it back up the middle. He's got a Mustang first down out to the 30 before he's driven down by Dalton.
This is a crucial time for Menomonie. There's plenty of time left, 4:17 to go in the third quarter, but they find themselves down by 10 after they close the gap to 3 at the close of the first half. But with that big-time strike by the Raiders opening back up that 10-point lead in a tough defensive-minded battle like this, the 10 points might just hold it.
Low snap, Ebert drops, pulls it down, leads in all sorts of trouble, and down he goes.
Ball
Ball came out, but they said that Ebert was down.
Matson and Torrin Phillips on the tackle.
Torrin Phillips in. Alonzo Madsen wreaking some havoc in the backfield again. Loss of 2 on the play brings up 2nd and 12 for Menomonie.
2nd and 12 for the Mustangs. Balls on the Mustang 29.
Will Oakler checks out for Menomonie. 2 tight end set, receivers on both sides of the formation. Ebert to pass, has to step up in the pocket, and Torrin Phillips wraps him up, takes him down back at the 26. Back-to-back sacks.
Well, we're seeing something we didn't see a lot of in the first half, and Hudson is getting pressure on the Menomonie quarterback. We talked about how they had success through the air, and I think they changed some things up at halftime, went with a more aggressive approach, are bringing more pass rushers, and it's working.
3rd and 15 for the Mustangs. Three receivers come to the near side. Again, a 2 tight end set. Again, a low snap. Ebert this time has time now, rolling out of the pocket. Chased by McDonald. Throws, and it is short of the intended receiver. Incomplete. Intended for Logan Sorensen. That brings up 4th down, and the punt unit comes on.
Yeah, we've seen both of these teams go for it multiple times on 4th down, but at this juncture, this far back in your own territory, down by 10, you just can't. See, is that Dalton back there for the punt return? I believe it is.
Yes, it is. High spiraling kick, fair catch is called for, and Jacob Dalton takes it at the Hudson 40-yard line. 2:17 left to play in the 3rd. 17-7 Raiders, and they start in good field position. And John, that is one thing. All season long, the Raiders have won the battle of field position in every single game they played.
They have that, and that's an excellent point. And that's, time of possession. You got to win the turnover battle, of course. You got to win the penalty battle, but starting field position and time of possession, I mean, those are just such key stats when you look at wins or losses, and Hudson's done very well with that. You're right.
Danielson comes in motion. They run a counter play to Miller, and Miller
on the carry. Miller
slides his way out to the 43. A gain of 3 for David Miller.
Miller continuing to see a fair amount of carries.
That is his 9th carry of the night, good for 60 yards.
Al Collenbach watching the game from beautiful North Hudson, says, let's go Raiders.
Little push out. Danielson turns it upfield, runs out of bounds into the Hudson bench. Where will they mark him out? It looks like he stepped out at the 48. So that's a gain of 5. 3rd and 2, one of the few 3rd and shorts that Hudson has faced here this evening.
Yeah, they've had some 3rd and longs. To me, I think you just power it here. I think you either you do a quarterback draw or you just give it to Danielson. We'll see.
Hunter Lutkins goes in motion. They hand it off to Miller. Miller caught in the backfield and dragged down. It'll be a loss on the play.
Yeah, we're going to. What do you think, Joe? We're probably going to be 4th and 3 here, yeah.
Punt unit coming on. Carter Luzinski, a nice play defensively that time for Menomonie to blow things up.
Normally on 4th and 3, Hudson would go for it. But you're sitting on a 10-point lead. We're at the close of the 3rd quarter. I like the play call here a lot.
Lewis, line drive, spiraling kick.
Especially now. Inside the 5.
Inside the 5. It is stopped and downed at the 3.
Well,
50-yard punt.
And Joe, you made an excellent point about winning the battle of field position, and that works the other way too. Now you have a Menomonie offense that Hudson defensively has really shut down in this 3rd quarter for the most part, backed up inside the 5-yard line. Sitting on a 10-point lead, things are looking good right now. Got an email coming in I want to be sure to get to. It says Dan Zulli, number 86, was born in Austria. Okay, and he has greetings from his Austria friends. Checking in from Austria tonight.
Okay, well, that explains the earlier email as well. So they weren't that far from home.
Mark Murphy emailing in, watching from Scottsdale, Arizona. Best to Dan Zulli. You got the Dan Zulli fan club here.
Ebert to throw out of the end zone deep. And overshoots the intended receiver on the far side. Incomplete. I believe that was Sam Zabornik.
Rick Mellon checking in. He's from watching from Tampa tonight. He's class of 1972. He says, grew up watching Jim Bertelsen, Hudson's greatest football player. And he reads off some records that Jim Bertelsen just holds in the old middle border days. In my office in downtown Hudson, I have a picture of Jim Bertelsen signed of his days with the LA Rams. And All-American at Texas, All-Pro in 73. Before my time, but I'm well aware of the Jim Bertelsen story. Would love to hook him up for an interview sometime, but thank you for the email, Rick.
2nd and 10. Ebert again to throw and well overshoots Sorensen on the far side. It'll be 3rd and 10, Menomonie.
Keep those emails coming in. Very easy to do. Click on the Contact the Booth link below the video screen on HudsonBroadcast.com. You can let us know who you are, where you're listening from, who you're cheering for tonight. If you're a Hudson Raider fan, all's looking good so far. We still got a quarter and 59.7 seconds to go against the always tough Menomonie Mustangs, coming in 5-1.
I'll tell you, I am surprised that they have been just gunning it here from the end zone. Now 3rd and 10. 3 receivers right again, deep down the right side. And it is caught. No, incomplete.
Pass ball's incomplete. Brings up 4th down for the Mustangs.
So it'll be 4th and 10 from the 3, and Jake Ebert is now misfired on 6 straight passes.
Yeah, they've definitely turned the tables on Menomonie in this second half, and credit defensive coordinator Neil Hatfield, and as well as the captains, making the adjustments, making the improvements. You know, even though Menomonie only put 7 points up, and that was at the close of the first half, they were deep inside the red zone twice and came away with nothing, and that's really hurting them right now.
Timeout. Menomonie. That's their second charge.
So Menomonie has to burn their second time out of the half here in the 3rd quarter. 52.6 remain to be played in the 3rd. 17-7 Hudson.
6:32 left in the game. Superior clinging to a 12-7 lead over Chippewa Falls. Chippewa Falls coming off that tremendous win. You know, I was following that score, and then we went home from Superior, and I was feeling kind of down because we had several things go wrong with the Superior game. I was happy we won, but it wasn't really a very pretty game to watch or to call, and we had other issues, and then that we left in a storm. Luckily, we got the game in before the storm hit, but I'm following that thing, and back and forth it goes, and my goodness, 132 points scored, and Chippewa Falls and Memorial have a rivalry that goes back, a lot of years, and boy, what a game.
Warner from his end zone gets a nice high kick, albeit short, and this is Dalton on the run, bobbles it, picks it up, and then is hit immediately, but powers his way inside the 25-yard line. Hudson will start 1st and 10 from the Menomonie 23-yard line at just a net 20 on the punt.
Well, you knew when Menomonie started that deep in their own territory, it was going to be a problem. The defense allowed nothing, and now this offense, if they can punch one in, even another field goal, that would be sweet with only 42.7 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Hopefully you like our clock cam. Was a new addition here, so you can see the time in real time off the scoreboard.
The fake to Danielson. Hilterbrand just sprints right up the middle. He's inside the 20 down to the 18. He picks up 5.
He's not put the numbers up he did against Superior, but he hasn't had to because they've been had such success through the air. But he can do it.
This time he does hand it off to Danielson. A little shake and bake. And he'll back his way inside the 10 down to the 9.
Danielson carries it into the 10.
That's a gain of 9. 1st and goal, Hudson. And quickly to the line are the Raiders. Lutkins in motion. They fake to him. Hilterbrand just lowers the shoulder and powers his way down to close to the 6.
You know you're at a pretty good advantage when your quarterback outsizes some of the linebackers.
That takes us to the end of quarter number 3 with Hudson leading Menomonie 17-7. We will be back with fourth quarter action right after this. Our thanks to the McDonald Insurance Agency as well as all of our other great sponsors this season for Hudson Raider football. It is thanks to them that we are able to do this for you.
Yeah, tuning in from Big Guys Barbecue and Seasons Tavern, the Village Inn, the Hudson Bowling Center, the Willow River, all these great places. Go check them out.
Pitch, Danielson, flag comes in as Danielson got down to the 2. Gain of 5, but what was the flag?
Might be a hold.
It will go against Hudson. The Raiders are backing up as we will get the call from our lead official.
Block in the back on the offense. That's 10 yards from the spot. Replay the down.
Second time we've got hit with the block in the back penalty tonight. The first one was much more obvious, but yeah, penalties still hurting us.
So it'll be 2nd and goal. Ball set back at the 17-yard line. Hilterbrand looking left, throws that way, and it is incomplete, intended for Ben Carls running a crossing route.
Brings up 3rd and goal. Balls at the 17.
3rd and goal from the 17. And a timeout is called by Hudson, their first of the half, with 11:51 to play in the 4th. Again, next week, Raiders are up in Rice Lake to take on the Warriors in what promises to be an up-and-down affair.
It is, and there's another team. Joe, this is our 8th year of calling Hudson football. Hudson has a winning record against all of the teams in the Big Rivers Conference with one exception, Rice Lake. They are 3-4 against Rice Lake, 7 games, and some tremendous games. I look back at the game in 2013. Hudson blocks a punt with about less than 2 minutes to go, forces the game into overtime, and ends up winning it in overtime. 2014, we lose up there, and that 52-49 game where a potential game-tying field goal goes wide left. 2015, they come down here, trim us up pretty good, but back and forth we go. They've won 4 of the 7. I'm looking forward to that next week.
3rd and goal from the 17. Straight drop. Hilterbrand throws corner of the end zone, and it is knocked down, incomplete. Jed Ogia there defensively. Ben Carls, the intended receiver. And the field goal unit is coming on for the Raiders.
Well, good defense that time by Menomonie. They're trying to keep themselves in the game here, although offensively they really haven't done much of anything in this second half.
33-yard attempt from Dan Zulli. Got plenty of leg, but it is no good. As it sails wide left.
Good distance, just off to the left there. And Zulli has really taken over the kicking duties. They kind of did a rotation between him and Carls, but I'd say the last probably couple games here, maybe even the last 3 games, Zulli has really been the man for doing the kicking.
.42 left to play in quarter number 4. Menomonie starts 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line. As they continue to spread it out, very un-Mustang-like. Ebert fakes left, throws back right. This is Poplawski. Poplawski avoids a couple of tackles, runs through another, and then as a flag flies in, Poplawski is taken down at about the 28 or 29-yard line.
Sort out the penalty. We got another score update coming in. We'll get to that after this penalty call.
5-yard face mask on the defense. Added to the end of the run.
Well, you heard it there. And Joe, add up the penalties, and after we had 16 last week.
8 for 55 on Hudson.
Well, not near as bad, but still too many.
So 8 yards on the play, tack on another 5 at the end of it. 1st and 10 from the 33. A pass is caught and taken down immediately at the 37. That is caught by Zabornik. And he comes up a little hobbled. Gain of 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 6. Ebert running out of time. Spins out of the would-be sack and then throws a jump ball that's caught.
Oh, man.
And breaking down the sideline. A cutback at the 25 and going into the end zone.
Holy cow. Man.
A sandlot play, if ever I saw one, results in a 63-yard touchdown for Menomonie, but we're looking back upfield.
Do we have laundry on the field?
Injured player, I guess,
Injured
being
player,
helped
okay.
off the field real quick. So the officials time out there on the field. The play stands, and the Mustangs strike quickly, 63 yards to Dylan Boker.
You know, it just shows you how quickly momentum can swing. Hudson's driving, and a field goal attempt potentially going up by 13, for 20 to 7, and bang, bang, just like that, the field goal's missed, and Menomonie drops one in, and Hudson blocks it there.
Poplawski's kick is blocked, so with 10:37 to play, it is Hudson 17, Menomonie 13. As you see that brand new scoreboard in year number 2.
Oh, yeah.
It's a beauty.
Well, who would have thunk it, high school football, a few years back, you just didn't really think of video scoreboards, artificial turf, big-time stadiums. I mean, down south, Texas and California, they've had all the bells and whistles for years, but more and more of these stadiums, look at the Big Rivers Conference. Now, that's a little bit different because you have high school teams playing at college stadiums. Williams Field, we're on the campus of UW Stout where Menomonie plays, beautiful stadium. River Falls, tremendous upgrades over there at Raymer Field. Superior is a great field. Pug, London, Rice Lake is excellent. Carson Park, we were just there a couple of weeks because that's probably my favorite place to call a game from. Great facilities that we get to play in.
Short end over end kick is going to land at the 12. Danielson picks it up at the 7. Nothing but white jerseys, and he escapes down the sideline. Still on his feet.
How did he get through?
Oh, a flag comes in as Danielson cuts back. Now just hang on to the ball. Yeah, there you go. What a phenomenal return from Cole Danielson, but it looks like it's going to be coming back.
Well, he must have been like Gregory Hines tap dancing on the sideline there. He was somehow able to stay in.
And they are pointing back Hudson's way. Unfortunate.
Got to pick in the back on the return team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down, Hudson.
So instead of starting in Menomonie territory at the 47, the penalty will take it back to the Hudson 23-yard line. Penalty number 9 on the evening on the Raiders, following up the 16 penalty performance in Superior last week.
And I just want to tell our fans here how good Joe Moore is. He's calling the game. He's got all the stats in front of him, keeping all his own stats. I mean, well done. I'm just looking over here and marveling. We've been working here all these years. I'm still marveling at everything you've got going there.
Option near side, boy, and getting in the backfield in a hurry that time was Boyette. Hilterbrand taken down, loss of 5 on the play.
Menomonie has done a phenomenal job bottling up Kaiser Hilterbrand. Hilterbrand has not taken over this game like he did last week against Superior. Absolutely, at least on the ground. Through the air, he's been very, very solid, but they have limited his gains on the ground.
Pass over the middle is caught out across the 25. No. Well, ball came out there late, and it was a catch. Out to the 27, that's a gain of 8. Third down, we'll call it 6. 9th catch of the night for Ben Carls.
Yeah. And a great touchdown catch earlier.
Hilterbrand running out of options. The pocket collapses. He reaches for the first down. I believe he's going to be marked short.
Now it's decision time. Sitting on a
4th and less than a yard.
Boy, without hesitation, they're going for it. That's confidence. There it is. I don't think he got it. I don't think he got it.
I think he did.
It's all going to come down to the spot.
Boy, great collision at the point of contact. They mark it out close to the 39. That's plenty for a first down. Again,
he got it. They don't call Joe Moore Eagle Eyes for nothing because I didn't think he got it. I'm glad he did, but
I think a little second effort roll off to the left there was what did it for him. So fresh set of downs for the Raiders. Pitch. Miller nowhere to go. Big loss on the play back to the 28-yard line. That's a loss of 6.
Clock continuing to run there. Both teams, well, excuse me, the Raiders with 2 timeouts, Menomonie only with 1.
Quarterback draw. Hilterbrand picks his way up the middle. He's got a first down. He's into Menomonie territory to the 46-yard line. 26-yard run for Kaiser Hilterbrand.
Well, we talked about how Menomonie had shut him down running-wise up until this point, and they have. But they stayed with it. The biggest run of the night by Hilterbrand into Menomonie territory. The drive continues on.
Danielson in motion. Handoff goes to Miller. He tries the middle, and he falls inside the 45 for a gain of about 1, maybe 2 on the play. Second, we'll call it 9.
Barton on the tackle for the Mustangs. 2nd and 8.
Hilterbrand on the keep and dives ahead close to the 41-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry. It'll set up 3rd and 5 for the Raiders. Hildebrand 56 yards of rushing this evening, 242 through the air. Plenty of time, and then throws one incomplete, but Ben Carls had been knocked to the turf. I'm not sure if there's a flag there. It looks like there is.
Probably defensive pass interference on that one.
Raiders need 5 for a first down.
Defensive hold.
Yeah.
10 yards from the previous spot. First down.
And there you have it. Raiders, again, the fresh set of downs, pick it up via the penalty on this one. Penalty number 4 on Menomonie this evening for 25 yards. Handoff Danielson. Flag flies, and
Boy.
Menomonie pointed as though they had the ball there at the end. Danielson was down after a gain of 6, but I think they're going to get another hold here on the corner.
Does that give us 10?
Offense, holding, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
So they'll march it back to the Menomonie 40-yard line, and yes, John, that is number 10. Back-to-back weeks, double digits.
Wow, that's, and that's uncharacteristic of Hudson. They're usually very disciplined, and they're going to have to continue to work on that.
1st and 19, handoff Miller, and Miller down to the 35-yard line. He picks up 5 of it. 2nd and 14 now for Hudson. Season high 13 carries for David Miller tonight. Option. Oh, and absolutely getting crushed was Danielson. Jed Ogia.
Joe, if I got hit like that, it would take me half an hour to get up.
Woo. Loss of 3 on the play. I don't know that I would, John. I think he'd have to pick me up and cart me off.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
And Danielson is a tough guy to bring down.
And, hey, credit to him. He popped right back up.
He did. He's tough.
Pearson Carls go wide to the far side. McDevitt wide near side. Trips right. Hildebrand throws it that way. It's caught. That was Danielson, and again, he gets hit pretty hard. This time it's Sorensen on the tackle. 4th and 4 coming.
That brings up 4th down. Ball's placed at the 25-yard line.
Well, without a doubt, you're going to go for it.
Clock continuing to run. We're down to 5:10 left to play, so plenty of time.
And how big now is that missed extra point by Menomonie?
Right. And the Raiders let the play clock run down. They call their second timeout of the half, which stops the clock at 4:56. They'll talk about 4th and 4 with a 4-point lead.
Well, some Big Rivers Conference finals now coming in. Superior pulled away late to pull off a 26-7 win over Chippewa Falls. So the Superior Spartans coming off that loss last week at the hands of the Hudson Raiders back on the winning track. Rice Lake all over Eau Claire North, 52-6. And the third game is also final. River Falls 48. Eau Claire Memorial 7. It was a tough night for the Eau Claire schools.
Ooh.
That moves River Falls to 6-1. Excuse me, 5-1.
Yep. 3-1 in the conference. They need to just pick up one more victory. That Chi-Hi Superior game. That was a big one. The loser of that one
is on the outside looking. It's going to be tough.
Yep.
We talked about that, and both of those. You talk about Chippewa Falls, a bubble team. Really, Superior falls into that category as well.
Superior moving to 2-2 now in conference play. The loss drops the Cardinals to 1-3. 4th and 4, 2 receivers to each side. Danielson in motion, rolling. Hilterbrand spins out of a would-be tackle. Running right, pulls it down and is taken down. A loss of 2, and Menomonie once again will take over on downs.
Well, you can't fault Hilterbrand on that one. I mean, he did anything and everything he could. Just good defensive secondary coverage by the Mustangs. You know, he had several options. They were all bottled up, and you know, he's so hard to bring down, and he can throw so well on the run. He has excellent field vision, but there just wasn't anybody open that time. He was able to get a few yards, but not enough for the first down. They turned it over on downs.
4:42. A timeout remaining for each team.
We've got the makings of a fantastic finish here.
Menomonie is 74 yards away. Ebert gonna run out of the pressure, and he's got some room. And Ebert sprints out of bounds at the 41, and here come flags as he was hit out of bounds.
You can't do foolish things like that when you got a team marching down the field potentially late here in the fourth quarter. That's going to be 15.
And that's after a 15-yard run from Ebert.
Well, we'll have to see, but I think that's what it's going to be. Is a 15. Yeah, there it is.
On the defense, 15 yards from the end of the
There it
run.
is.
First down, Menomonie.
That's going to move the ball into Hudson territory. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs from the Hudson 45-yard line.
You want to play aggressive, but you got to play smart aggressive. And what happened that time is something that has rarely happened this year. He outran Cody Sika. Cody Sika is so fast to the ball, and he outran him that time.
Blitz coming. Ebert throws out to the far side. It's caught. Trying to make a move and running out of bounds with it is Zabornik. Gain of 9 on the play.
The clock had. Okay, the clock is stopped now. The clock did run a few extra seconds after he'd gone out of bounds.
And the referees will talk about that,
Yep.
I believe, right
Yep,
now
they
on the near hash marks.
Reset the game clock
Yep.
to 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
That's
4
the right
minutes
call.
and 20 seconds.
That's the right call.
So we'll add 4 seconds back onto the clock. 2nd and 1, Menomonie. Trailing by 4, but on the move, and kind of feel like momentum is
Yeah.
back behind the Mustangs right now.
Well, particularly coming off that 15-yard personal penalty with the hit out of bounds. But now this defense is going to be tested.
Delayed handoff. And a loss on the play back to the 39. Manson got in there. Jonah Becken was in there as well.
I think is he going to lose some yards on that one? Yes, he is.
3rd and a long 3 for Menomonie. Ebert throws down the sideline, diving attempt, and he is caught. Receiver is still down. They're going to mark it at the Hudson 9-yard line, I believe.
Officials timeout. End of play.
And keep in mind, in high school football, you only have to have one foot down, not both. And I don't think he got both, but obviously he got one down. I don't know if he turned an ankle coming down or what happened there.
It's a 24-yard connection. And 1st and goal. Menomonie at the Hudson 9 while we attend to the injured Menomonie player. That's
Yeah, it looks like maybe a cramp if he turned an ankle. Not sure, we don't want to speculate here, but Anyway, look, the Mustangs got a drive going.
Looks like Dylan Boker is the one who ran under that one. Beautifully thrown ball by Ebert.
Yeah, and in the third quarter, Hudson really had him shut down. And now he's come alive here in the fourth, trying to bring the Mustangs back. The Raiders clinging to that 4-point lead, 3:40 to go. Each team with one timeout remaining, 1st and goal on the 9-yard line. We wanted a good game. We thought we'd get it between these two rivals. It's coming right down to the end.
Can the Raider defense step up one more time? Handoff. Try in the middle is Poplawski, and not much there. Hudson thinks they have the ball. No indication from the officials. Gain of 1 for Poplawski. And another injured player on the far side, limping on the sidelines now for Menomonie.
And I mentioned this before, how large now it looms that Menomonie missed that extra point. Because they're definitely in field goal territory inside the 10. But it does them no good because they're down by 4.
2nd and goal from the 8. Ebert drops, throws far corner, near corner, and overshoots the intended receiver. Zabornik incomplete. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 8. Pass attempt number 31 tonight from Jake Ebert.
I wonder if Menomonie in the 7 games we've played, that we've done, has thrown it that many times combined.
I looked at last year's stats. They threw it twice.
Twice, yeah.
Of course, they had a running back that ran for over 300 yards.
Yeah.
That kind of dictated. Attempt number 32 toward the corner. It is incomplete. Knocked out of there on the hit from Jacob Dalton.
Boy, Jacob Dalton might have just saved the game right there with a big-time hit. The pass was there and jarred it loose. That's what the seniors do, the senior captains. It's all going to come down to this, I think, right now.
So 4th and goal from the 8. Three receivers to the right. Looking that way, Ebert quick. It's caught. It's a touchdown, Menomonie. Into coverage, Jake Sassembo was right there. But Menomonie has taken its first lead of the ball game.
Defensively, I don't think Hudson could have covered it any better. They had double coverage on that. 4th down, they stopped that play. This game is probably over.
Sam Zabornik, the touchdown reception.
Call him the seamstress. He threaded the needle on that one.
Another big extra point here. And this one is good. That makes it a 3-point advantage for Menomonie. 2017 Mustangs. As you see it right there, 2:48 left to play. Both teams with 1 timeout remaining.
Well,
Raiders have faced some difficult situations, specifically against River Falls. They trailed most of that game and won it in the 4th, so good gut check time here for Hudson.
It is, and we said that coming out of halftime, holding that 10-7 lead. Menomonie had dumped one in late in the first half to close the gap to 10-7. Field goal to tie, a touchdown to win, 2:48 to go. These are the chapters where the stories are written right here. When it's all done, when we're having dinner and drinks with the Hudson banquet, I believe it's that Big Guys Barbecue. We reflect back on the season. This will be one of the things that will be talked about right here.
Menomonie fans are excited. Their Mustangs lead for the first time tonight, 20-17, as they are set to kick it back to Hudson. Mustangs looking for their 4th consecutive victory over Hudson. Short kick from the 13. Danielson right up the middle of the field, cuts it back. He's 35-40 across the 45, and he's going to be taken down at the midfield stripe. 37 yards on the return.
Tremendous return by Danielson. And he hasn't been returning a lot of kickoffs. Great run right at midfield, and I'm just watching there. They're really hitting out there now. Both of them, both teams, as well they should. A potential conference championship on the line. The rivals, Hudson and Menomonie, is going to come down to the last few minutes here at Raider Stadium.
Quick pass is caught by Danielson, hit by Odia immediately. Gain of 4 on the play.
It's going to cost a lot of time, and this one maybe, just maybe, might come down to the leg of Dan Zulli.
2nd and 6. Again, a quick slant. McDevitt had it and couldn't hang on to it. Logan Sorensen put a hit on him. Jarred it loose. Incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Good pass that time by Halterbrand. McDevitt just couldn't bring it in. A good hard hit helped that along.
Danielson in motion, quarterback draw. Halterbrand across the 45 to the 44. It'll be 4th and 5 for Hudson.
This very well could be the game.
We dip under 2 minutes to play. Intensity is great here in Hudson. 4th and 5, wanting to pass. Halterbrand stepping up in the pocket. He's taken down, no gain. Menomonie will take over on downs. Minute 40 left.
And Hudson only has 1 timeout. Oh, tough. Defensively, Menomonie really had that one dialed up. Boy, that was a tough break. Especially after that huge kickoff return to bring us all the way up to midfield.
Yep. Well, Menomonie cannot run the clock out. If they do get a first down, they might be able to. Hand off Poplawski. He's got a first down on a gain of 13 to the Hudson 42-yard line. You can see the Hudson defense trying to strip the ball, get that ball back. Hudson calls its final timeout.
Well, do the math now, Joe. Minute 34 to go. Hudson burns its last timeout. We got to pop one loose.
Yeah. That's what it will take.
A clutch 4th down conversion for the touchdown. Potentially the game winner for Menomonie tonight.
Menomonie 1 for 4 on 4th downs tonight, and the one biggest play of this ball game. Hudson has attempted 7 4th down conversions, and they've come up empty 4 times. Handoff, Poplawski, and he just got both arms wrapped around that ball as he picks up 3 down to the 38-yard line.
It's all when they start that play clock. And Hudson powerless to stop the clock as their timeouts are all gone.
Second down, they'll line it up in victory formation. Just nail this one down. They will have to snap the third down play. They will not have to snap a fourth down play. The snap to Ebert, he nails it down, and that will do it. For the fourth year in a row, the Menomonie Mustangs have defeated the Hudson Raiders tonight by a final score of 20-17. The loss knocks the Raiders from the ranks of the unbeatens as they drop to 5-1, 3-1 in the conference. With the victory, Menomonie improves to the exact same record. 3-1 in the conference, 5-1 overall. So it's quite a mess atop the Big Rivers right now as four teams are 3-1.
Yeah, you're going to have a 3-1 Hudson team, a 3-1 Menomonie team, a 3-1 River Falls team, and a 3-1 Rice Lake team with 3 weeks to go to battle it out and settle it out. We might have one of these years where it's, tri-champs or, some kind of tiebreaker scenario of some sort, but a tough loss on your home field tonight against a Menomonie team that is always very strong. They did have the one loss against River Falls, and, Hudson had that 20-7 lead, and Menomonie, 17-7 lead. And Menomonie somehow, some way found a way to come back against a defense that really shut them down in the third quarter.
Yeah, and it's rare that we're going to see a Menomonie team rely so heavily on the arm of its quarterback, and that is exactly what the Mustangs did tonight, essentially kind of giving up on the running game altogether coming down the stretch, and some of that, obviously, the game sequence forced them into a passing mode, but they found a way to do it here in Hudson tonight, and for the first time in this stadium's history, the Hudson Raiders suffer a conference defeat.
Yeah, tough, particularly since you lost to Menomonie the last 3 years after beating them 7 years in a row. And we talked about a baseball pennant race. Well, it's going to be a Big Rivers Conference high school football pennant race. That's probably the wrong terminology, but 4 teams are 3-1 with 3 weeks to go. We go to Rice Lake to face one of those 3-1 teams next week on the road. And you just got to take care of business there. Got to shake this one off. A tough loss, particularly at home, and particularly, since you had a lead late, a 10-point lead late. But tonight was not to be.
Too many things just did not work out, and the Menomonie defense did some film study. They had a lot of things bottled up that Hudson has had success with. So through the first 5 games of this season, the option plays just were not effective tonight. Kaiser Hilterbrand, you mentioned, the top 3 things the Menomonie defense needed to do was stop Kaiser Hilterbrand, ditto.
Yep.
And for the most part, especially on the ground running-wise, they did that. Hilterbrand successful throwing the ball tonight, but when Hudson needed plays, the secondary for Menomonie stepped up as well and kind of pulled their weight right along with the rest of them.
They really did, and Hilterbrand scrambles so well and throws well on the run with such great arm strength, but defensively on those key 3rd and 4th downs took away several of his options that he's been hitting in situations like that. It's led to first down conversions and ultimately led to wins, and they shut that down tonight at key times. And but you got to step back, and the sting of this will definitely hurt for a few days, but you say, okay, there's four of us sitting atop this conference. We got 3 weeks to go. We got on the road against Rice Lake next week, and you come back home against Eau Claire Memorial, who's got just absolutely throttled tonight by River Falls, and then you end on the road against a Chippewa Falls team that, depending on what happens here the next couple of weeks, might be fighting for that 5-4, just eking into the playoffs, and that's going to be tough. DeRay Field there, although this isn't a real strong Chippewa team, but this is where seasons are defined. And Coach Cowles, you can see there on the on the video talking to his guys. And lessons will be learned, things will be worked on, and onward and upward next week at Rice Lake.
That is when we will talk to you next, 7 o'clock from Rice Lake. Raiders will look to bounce back from their first defeat of the season. It'll be another battle of first-place teams.
Well.
Hudson and Rice Lake both entering that match 3-1 next Friday night. That will do it from Hudson here this evening. For John Wecken, my name is Joe Moore, and also our cameraman tonight, John Reed. We all wish you a very pleasant good night. Your final score, Menomonie 20, Hudson 17. Good night, folks.